What's cracking, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pod Shots. Here we are today, joined with myself, Sayyid Fasiddin Husseini, along with Nathan from second year CSC, myself also from second year CSC. And before we begin and get to the topic, allow me to lay down a few foundations and a few rules and regulations and what basically this platform is. Podshots is a platform for any OU student to discuss about anything and everything as long as he's not stirring up any controversy. You can check all the rules and regulations, the formats, the number of participants required for you to conduct a podcast on their Insta page at Podshots. Now, the topic of today is mental health and the need to reform. Now, before we get straight into it, there are a few misconceptions regarding mental health, which we'll discuss the definition, its types, and the way mental health is perceived within the Indian health infrastructure, the inadequacies which are there, and also some key beneficial tips at the end.
All right. So so basically, let's just kick it off by just defining, having like a very layman's term explanation of what mental health is.
Exactly, yeah.
So so according to the mental health .gov website, it's said that mental health includes our psychological, emotional, and social well-being, and it is a state that it's something that affects how we think, feel, and act. So
Definitely.
basically, it's basically you being you and people
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
at you, and then how you carry yourself. It defines how your mental health is like. So
Absolutely,
suppose
yeah.
yeah, so like suppose someone is like he's all sad all the time, you can say that he's in a sad state of mind, or you
Definitely,
can
yeah.
say that.
And it also affects, the way you function within the society. You'll have problems functioning within the societal framework. You'll have problems within your work. You'll have problems with just basic interaction with your family members as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and there are like more than 200 forms of mental illnesses. In no way we can discuss all of them at once, but we'll surely try to highlight some of the ones which are popular, especially like anxiety and clinical depression, along with others which have been neglected and which need to be discussed.
Yeah, that's true. So, like, I'd say that anxiety is one huge form of mental illness. Like, I mean,
Definitely, yeah.
even in some tiny, minute form, everyone has a little bit of anxiety in them. It might be about, them going for a job, them doing something that's going to define the next few years of their life and stuff like that. And anxiety is there like everywhere. And it's just how people tend to think about things that, manifest that anxiety. And then, there's this thin line that pushes you from anxiety into depression.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and when it comes to anxiety, I mean, there are many forms of anxiety. You have anxiety, which is just general anxiety. You just worry about too much about certain things, or you worry too much about your family. You worry too much about the wealth. You worry too much about money. You worry too much about you going to work, the issues and everything. You worry too much
Hmm.
about how things might unfold in the future, and that's
Yeah.
that's one classification when it comes to anxiety, just general anxiety, just worry about everything.
Yeah. And also there are like three other types of anxiety which have been defined by the world famous WebMD.
Mm-hmm.
So one type of anxiety is called panic disorder.
Exactly, yeah.
It says that you feel terror that strikes at random. So like you're sitting in some place and all of a sudden you feel scared and you start sweating. That's one kind of panic disorder. So that
Definitely, yeah.
comes under anxiety. And then there's social anxiety disorder. People, this mostly occurs to people who don't have that much of social interaction or don't have that experience, and they feel out of place in big crowds, and
Right, right,
it
right.
just gets to them. And then there's like specific phobias, like trypophobia,
Exactly.
arachnophobia, stuff like that. That's like pretty like pretty minute stuff. But anxiety itself has so many classifications that
Exactly
it
right.
tells you how serious of a problem it is.
Yeah, and how less of a issue it is I mean, how less discussed it is and how underrated this whole discussion is, especially anxiety. Now, as you mentioned, panic disorders actually do affect your physical health, and it may actually end up in you having physical issues like short of breath, and it may even cause you physical pain, like people who have experienced panic attacks say that they experience a stabbing in their heart, which is something of a physical experience.
Yeah, definitely. Here it says that it might go all the way to you having a stroke. Like
Wow.
that's that's like scary at times,
Exactly.
thinking
That
that,
should definitely raise some eyebrows.
yeah,
And
you
like,
like your mind is running at such speeds in fear that it can manifest into a heart attack, dude. Like that's scary.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
And
moving
when this,
on,
so yeah,
yeah, and now moving on, we have obviously clinical depression, which is another form of very popular mental illnesses.
yeah, definitely. I feel, people should know like the actual meaning of depression, because it now being depressed has become a very famous or very common quote in, like, our generation at least. You see,
Mm-hmm.
like, everyone,
Exactly,
they
yeah.
just feel sad, and then people just take feeling sad and say that I'm feeling depressed. So I just want to quote Deepika Padukone after the tragic incident of Sushant Singh Rajput.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, she started, and she's like the mental health ambassador of India, right?
Yeah,
Deepika
yeah,
Padukone.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
So she quoted this one quote that actually makes a lot of sense. There is a huge difference between being sad and being depressed.
Definitely, yeah.
So that I just wanted to get that one thing across, because depression is not something that comes in general. It's like it comes to you, but it's serious. So you can't just feel depressed one day and feel happy the next day, and just move on with life. That's not depression. That's just general sadness of a human. That's like human emotion.
Definitely, yeah. There should be I mean, there's a clear distinction between grief and depression. Depression is something which lasts for 2 weeks. You might have grief, or you might have sadness because, let's say, you lost someone in your family, or let's say you had a bad paper. Now, that doesn't mean that you're depressed. Depression is something which is persistent, something which lasts for more than 2 weeks, and something which is also associated with suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like we were discussing anxiety, right?
Yeah,
So, being in that state of constant fear of something might tip you over into the state of depression. So, like, it's a
exactly.
fine
Yeah,
line, very thin line, from where you can tip over from being an anxiety guy with anxiety to, falling into the prey of depression.
exactly. That's true.
And
Hmm.
and the stats show here that there's like 10 million cases per year just in India.
Wow.
And it's horrible to know that. I feel like children are not educated about, like having to go to therapy. Like, people look down so much on that when that's so important, especially when you have so many cases going on in just one country.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. That is one of the things which we lack within our mental health infrastructure. And talking a bit more about depression, there are so many reasons when it comes to depression. Okay, people think that usually depression is associated to one thing. For instance, in this present case of Sushant Singh, what they have associated that with is one thing called nepotism, and it doesn't really have to be one thing. There are a series of triggers which are involved and which lead to chronic depression. And most often, what it is described as is that you have a downward spiral. Okay, so you have one thing which leads to
Hmm.
another, and that
Yeah,
eventually causes you to go into a rabbit hole of depression, eventually leading you to also committing your life. So there are many
yeah.
reasons. Among the symptoms, most popular is obviously substance abuse. It can involve anything like the use of narcotics, the use of alcohol,
Hmm.
also to certain lesser forms of addictions. Like it may even involve you watching a lot of pornography, eventually leading you to severe depression. Now, as I said, there's no one reason. There is a factor of reasons which come into play when we are talking about depression.
Yeah, especially because it's about the mind, right? And your
Exactly.
mind is a very fragile thing. So, it depends upon how a person, takes something to heart. Like suppose if someone just makes a very tiny joke,
Yeah.
it's just a distinction of two people. Like one guy can like take it as a joke, and there's another guy who takes it so seriously and starts feeling bad about it, that brings him into the downward spiral.
Exactly. Sometimes you have, something as small as a straw which breaks the camel's back, okay? Because you have so
Yeah.
many things piled up on top of it that, something as little as a derogatory term may, eventually lead to a downward spiral.
Yeah, man. And especially like, our country, it says here that there's been an act passed by the WHO
Mm-hmm.
in 1982, which
Mm-hmm.
states that the country is supposed to involve mental health into their like health plans.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the internet, it says that India hasn't actually implemented mental health properly into the health plans, and it's like less than 2% of the Indian economy or whatever money put into health is used. Only less than 2% of that money goes to mental health. It's kind of
Definitely.
frightening if you look at it.
Definitely. I mean, if you see the stats, right, and let's now just move on to, the topic of mental health infrastructure within India, because I think it's a very smooth transition from here. There are definitely, certain achievements which India has made post-colonialism. Like back in the day during the British rule, there used to be just mental asylums, and that's it. Now, post colonialism, India has definitely done a few things to improve the general condition and to just remove the social stigma surrounding it. But those actions are still inadequate when it comes to the ground reality.
Yeah, definitely.
And as you have said, that there's only so much, only a fraction of our GDP is spent on healthcare, and out of that, one study actually published by the National Institute of Mental Health says that India only spends 0.06, okay? Let me say that again, 0.06% of its health budget on healthcare, on like mental health care. That is
Yeah.
significantly lower than even what Bangladesh spends, okay? So this just goes to show how far behind we are when it comes to, mental health spending.
Yeah, especially when we're not educated about it in schools. Like
Exactly.
if you look at places outside, there's like schools have like what they have school guidance counselors. I think the
Definitely.
only guidance counselor we have in India is the coolest teacher who's open to listening to your discussions.
Definitely,
And
yeah.
yeah,
And
that's
I mean,
like the closest thing we have to a guidance counselor in school.
exactly. And like this also leads to a very interesting disorder known as ADHD. Okay. ADHD
Hmm.
was in fact the premise of Tare Zameen Par, okay, where a
Yeah,
person, okay, suffered from ADHD disorder, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And what this basically means is that, a person associated with this disorder won't have the ability to understand things the way we understand, because that person can't, put in the attention which is required for you to understand a particular thing. So
yeah,
he lacks attention, and at the same time that person is very hyperactive. And
hmm,
we saw in that movie of Tare Zameen Par that how, the impact of a teacher, an empathetic teacher who understands the student, can have on the student combating the disorder. So there's
yeah.
definitely need of, incorporating child and like adolescents mental health into our education systems and into our very infrastructure of mental health.
Yeah, speaking of that movie, that movie also shows like how our previous generation has not been so up to date with that. Like you can see that
Exactly.
guys,
Yeah.
the child's father is offended by the fact that the teacher says that your son's not, has this kind of problem.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that it's kind of worrisome that way. And also, there's a very famous mental health therapist who runs an association that
Mhm.
says that she says that the government hasn't been doing as much as it should be doing, and there's like a huge treatment gap. That is, a treatment gap is when the number of doctors available to the number of people, and that
Yeah.
thing is like so huge. Like they didn't mention any numbers, but he just went out to say that it's humongous. Like that thing is huge. Like
Let
yeah,
me give you some numbers, okay? Now,
yeah.
a recent study published that there are only 9,000 psychiatrists for a population of 1.3 billion in India. Now, to make things worse, okay, let me tell you about depression and like how mental is popular in India. Now, it is said that by 2020, okay, which is currently right now, okay, they say that
Hmm.
20% of Indian population would suffer from mental illnesses. That is approximately 300 million Indians, which is the size of the United States of America. So it's mind boggling when you see that there are so many cases and there is such a dire need of mental health, you know, to be addressed, to be funded, yet we see that there are only so many psychiatrists and so many psychologists.
Yeah, and also it doesn't make it any easier that these psych cost so much, dude. Like like it's in in India, going to therapy is considered either you being bonkers, straight out bonkers,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you being
absolutely.
like, or you being a guy who likes to live in luxury.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it's like put on two extremes. I think what we as as people whose voices
Hmm.
matter now should do is normalize going to therapy.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's been happening because now a lot of stand-up comics from India, like there's this guy called Neville Shah
Hmm.
who bases all his material upon him going to therapy. And now Kanan Gill came out with a new one, and he also spoke out about him being depressed, having to go to therapy and stuff. So I think now people are trying to take small baby steps towards normalizing going to therapy, and stuff like that.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Mhm.
But still, I mean, when it comes, from a government's perspective, there is still a lot which is supposed to be done, and therapy might be the answer for people who are outside of the mental health infrastructure. Okay, who have not actually been a victim or been institutionalized under the health infrastructure. But for people who are actually stuck inside the mental asylums and inside the psychiatric units, for them having inadequate funding is actually a very big issue, because what happens is that some of them eventually end up decades inside of a mental asylum, inside of a psychiatric unit, just because proper care and proper treatment hasn't been given to them.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, I think. Well, I just think now that we're raising our voice for so many things, I think it's time. We start putting out that you're not putting out the required amount of funding for this. Don't you think it's important? Like, don't you think so?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
especially when
Mm-hmm.
you look at like foreign places
Mm-hmm.
in Switzerland and Canada, your mental health payments are included in your insurance papers. So
Wow.
like if you are
Yeah, yeah.
diagnosed with some kind of mental illness, your insurance takes care of it. And that's
Wow.
pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool to look at it from that perspective, like see how what other people are doing. And especially Canada being such a cool nation, I just
Yeah, yeah.
personally prefer Canada a lot.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
So it's pretty cool to look at that. And also the Japanese people, it's considered that the country of Japan has the lowest number of depressed people in the world,
Mm-hmm.
at being at 2.5% of the entire population being depressed.
Wow, that's really a massive achievement.
Yeah, man. And it's pretty cool to look at these other countries doing so much, and then us having that point of view where we can be like, yo, this guy is doing this, maybe we can implement it into our plan.
Exactly, yeah. And one of the reasons why they have such a robust mental health care system, I mean, definitely they also have flaws. Okay, I'm not saying they don't have any flaws
Yeah.
within their system, but
Mm-hmm.
they have that level of empathy where they have included mental health as an important healthcare phenomena and an important healthcare aspect. And the lack of that in India is actually seen everywhere. If you take, for instance, the look at uh, our law system, okay, our legal defense system, mental health issues are actually the single biggest loophole criminals use to get out of their accusations, which is totally absurd. And the highlight of this is that the Indian Penal Code still today doesn't have a proper definition of mental illness because there's so much little which they know about it.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's like, again, it comes back to the point of being like, people in India need to be educated a lot about mental health right now. It
Definitely, yeah.
just keeps spiraling back to, implement mental health into your education because it's much needed. As much as, now sex education has become a big thing, I think mental health is like, the next big thing that children need to know about.
Exactly, and let's not forget addressing the elephant in the room. COVID-19 has only shown how inadequate our systems are and how flawed our systems are when dealing with crisis. Okay, since a lot of people are actually saying that we are living in a pandemic within a pandemic, and that pandemic is of health like mental illnesses, because there's been a major spike in mental health issues due to COVID-19.
Yeah, man. I mean, it isn't easy being locked inside, a particular
True,
complex for so long and
exactly,
being
yeah.
out of human contact for so long. Because if you look at it, that's sometimes what drives a person to insanity is not having any human contact.
Definitely, yeah.
So I feel like, this, it's just how people are dealing with it right now. So there might be people who are so introverted and used to being inside the house that they're like having the time of their life right now in the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time there might be like extremely social people who thrive on other people's energy,
Yeah, yeah,
who miss being around people so much that it's starting to get to them.
exactly, yeah.
So that I think COVID-19 has been like a big eye opener for people to know that this staying away from people also can lead to you getting into mental health issues and stuff
Definitely, yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is a good point for us to move on to certain key takeaways people can have from this podcast. Some suggestions which we can provide on our behalf so that people can deal with negative thoughts, whether it be from anxiety, depression, or any other sort of mental illnesses.
Yeah, I'd personally say don't be afraid to be vocal about how you're feeling,
Definitely.
because it's not worth it keeping it inside and keeping it all to yourself, because at
Hmm.
the end of the day someone's got to know. That's the only reason we have people in this world, so that you can talk to them. And and
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
the other people who don't know about someone,
Hmm.
I'd say instead of being critical about something, like criticizing everything at every point of time,
Right.
take 5 minutes in a day to check up on your loved ones or anyone you just care about. It doesn't hurt. And you never know
Definitely. Yeah.
how a simple phrase like hey, how you doing today can change
Exactly.
someone's life for the better.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, one of the key things for me is meditation. I believe meditation is often underlooked, and not a lot of people meditate. If you see firstly. So yeah, meditation has proven time and time again how it can have a positive effects on your mind and on your mental well-being. Now, like part of meditation is also having a spirituality, is also being religious, and also having a core spirituality which corresponds to a moral or objective reasoning. Now, studies have
Hmm.
actually shown like a positive correlation between spiritual strengthening and lesser mental health issues. Now, definitely, it doesn't really have to be something which is religious oriented. It can also be you meditating on perhaps ASMR, which is quite popular nowadays, or you could perhaps listen to a soothing voice or something on that aspect if you're meditating.
Yeah, definitely. I'd also say art, any form of art expression,
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
me being a guy who's into a lot of music has
Yeah, yeah.
found that kind of peace in doing music a lot. And I'd say that any form of art or any way of expressing yourself is also a good outlet for for your emotions, and it's good to have your emotions being, put out into a piece of paper or onto a laptop, or in the form of colors, in a song, in a dance. Anyway,
Definitely.
art is like an amazing form, and it's actually used by quite a lot of psychologists, to
Mm-hmm.
like treat mental health.
Mm-hmm.
There's something called as art therapy, music therapy, and stuff that keeps going on,
Definitely, yeah.
just related to art. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
good thing. And it's just one very important point, not to the people who are suffering, but to the people who can help. Like, I feel like, we should stop judging other people. I know it's really hard being a human to stop judging someone,
Yeah, exactly.
but I feel, our passing of judgments about other people sometimes
Mm-hmm.
gets into their head so much that they start, like I said, anxiety. Like how we were discussing, it all goes back to the top where we started.
Definitely, yeah.
Anxiety is what it leads to, and then again you get tipped over into depression and stuff like that. You never know how powerful your words can be, is what I'm trying to say.
Definitely, yeah.
So I just say be careful about what you talk about someone, so that it makes a difference. Again, it's like, just careful with your words. If you And try as much as possible not to talk talk nonsense, or talk crap about someone.
Definitely, yeah. Being insensitive to, a person's suffering can actually worsen that person's suffering. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And among the many other things which I find positive when it comes to, decreasing your mental anxiety is having to look at the have-nots than the people who have everything. Okay, because when you look at people who don't have a lot in life, you actually start to appreciate many of the things. You start to have a sense of gratitude within yourself and look things in a much more positive outlook.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, and also, speaking about the people who have everything in depression, if you look at some of the people who, like, ended their own lives,
Definitely,
you
yeah.
can see like people like Robin Williams, and
Exactly, yeah.
Robin Williams was considered a comic mastermind,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he had almost everything a guy could want, even Sushant, for that matter of fact.
Definitely, definitely, yeah.
Dude was from a middle class family. He had everything, but that's the thing. It's not mental health is something so emotional that even sometimes the things of the world cannot get you that kind of happiness. That's where the saying "money can't buy happiness" comes in.
Exactly, definitely. I mean, materialistic goals are obviously something which we all aspire for, but they are not the end of the game. They are not the price, or like the goal which we all should look for. The goal which you all should look for is, at the end of the day, just being happy and to live a life which impacts others in a positive manner.
Definitely, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, since you have brought up the issue of celebrities committing suicide, it's actually quite unfortunate to see how they have a positive correlation with suicide rate, because these people, let's not forget, they are some of the biggest role models within our modern day society. So when people look at them with such high aspirations, they actually get affected negatively when they commit something which they shouldn't have, let's say like a suicide or something negative of that aspect. So there's actually an increase in suicide rate whenever a celebrity commits suicide. And this is why the media should be really careful how they portray suicide when it comes to celebrities, because this does have an effect on the entire population. It only depends on how you portray it. It only depends on how you shift the argument from the subject of mental health itself to something else which was rather irrelevant.
Definitely, I'd say so too. It's pretty true actually, because a lot of people, base half of their lives on what these guys do. A
Hmm.
lot of their fans try to, like, act like them, develop a personality like them. I
Exactly.
feel like I feel like that's another cause, people not knowing who they are as a person.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't judge them just by their limited time on the silver screen.
Exactly. Everyone has their own personal life, and I feel a lot of celebrities have been really open about that.
Definitely, yeah.
So it's you, in the end, the whole point to you being happy is to know what you are and know what you can do for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and just making sure you're able to satisfy yourself as much as possible. So it's like, keep yourself first, keep your happiness first,
Definitely.
take some positive things from everything that you see outside, and
Mm-hmm.
try to make yourself a better person instead of making yourself feel sad about what someone says about you. Start
Mm-hmm.
taking it in a positive manner. If you come from a broken home, for example, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, yeah.
If this is
Mm-hmm.
completely out of the random. If you
Yeah,
come
sure.
from a broken home, it doesn't mean that you don't have any hope in life to go forward and have a family of your own, because it's you who defines what happens to you at the end of the day. You never know, because if you look at a lot of billionaires or people like that, there's like 90% of like huge successful people who came from like huts and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all in how strong your mind is and how you know what you want and stuff like that, that makes you a better person.
Exactly. That was actually a very brilliant end to this session. I think we should call it off. Now, there are definitely more, suggestions which we could provide, more topics which we could discuss, but due to lack of time, we'll have to call it a day as per now. And just to give a quick recap of the things which we have discussed, the positive notes which we want to leave you on from here onwards is obviously you meditating some some form of it. Doesn't really have to be some sort of religious meditation, but
Hmm.
meditation in general. Secondly, you
Yeah.
could look into arts and other creative forms of work fields which are there, which actually instill positivity within mind and sort of allow you to express the negative thoughts which you go through, thereby dismissing them. And thirdly, we also discussed about how you should have gratitude in life and how you could look at other people who have less than you and develop that sense of appreciation.
Yeah.
Fourthly, is there anything which I missed?
Yeah. Being vocal about it, you don't have to
Definitely.
keep it to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah,
uh,
definitely. Social interaction is obviously a very important aspect in this. You should interact with your family, have more discussions. Perhaps the family may not understand you. Do look for a friend who might understand you, express your feelings, and may act as a counselor in the case where you're not exposed to a medical therapist.
yeah, and to finish it all off, just find what makes you happy and stick to it, and make sure that you can move forward in life doing what you want to do,
Hmm.
that gives you fulfillment. It's not just about your job, it's about your way of life in general.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so just keep your mind positive and move forward. That's literally the whole tagline, baseline for me, at least for me, and how I try to do it.
Hmm.
So I'd like to leave people with that. Keep your mind as positive as possible and try to move forward with that kind of positivity for others.
Definitely. So we like to take permission from you all to end this session over here. And it was a great session having Nathan with me. Again, he's from second year CSE. Myself, Sayyid Fasidin Husseini, also from second year CSE. If you like to have more of these podcasts from us, or if you would like to discuss something different than what we have discussed over here, then please let us know in the comments below. And also let us know how you combat depression, anxiety, and some of the other disorders which we haven't mentioned, and if you would like to mention them. So I leave you all with that note. Thank you very much. Make sure you follow Pod Shots and check them out on their Insta page. Thank you very much. Goodbye, Nathan. Have a good day, you
Goodbye,
all.
man.